What's up, race fans? Robert Warrens with Speed Zone TV here tonight for season opener at Daytona International Speedway for Roughneck Racing, James Wagner's Welding Truck Series. Gonna be an exciting one tonight. Obviously, with the season opener, no pressure for anyone as we truck around this 2.5 mile super speedway. 75-degree weather, clear, 2-mile-an-hour winds, 49% humidity, and we're going to be watching a lot of great action. There's 31 trucks in the field tonight. Let's take a quick look at our grid. Got Hennings on the pole, strong last season. Here he is, starting off strong again on that pole. The 96 of Barker on the outside pole, White in third, Pylan, our last season's champion, in fourth, Tate in the 50 in fifth, Hurst in sixth, Fuller in seventh, Laurent in eighth, ninth goes to Williams, Warhol in 10th, Hunter in 11th, Grace in 12th, Lussier in 13th, Ramsey in 14th. 15th goes out to Morton, and Richards will be in 16th, Presley in 17th, Richardson in 18th, Wilkinson in 19th, Miller in 20th, Isgreg at 21st, Briner in 22nd, Beebe in 23rd, Healy in 24th, Manning in 25th, Copperthorne 26th. We saw him last season mount a bunch of great finishes near the end. Enke in 27th. 28th is going out to Feidler, and 29th Isbell, 30th the Monday, and McKee rounding out the field in 31st. So you're going to want to just check us out on YouTube. That's where we're broadcasting right now. Share out the link to your friends and family, all that lovely jazz. We're excited to be back with Roughneck Racing this season. We had a great season last for season 6, but I'm expecting more great things from these drivers this season. So if you're looking at the broadcast, take a look in the bottom right hand corner. There's going to be a gearbox in YouTube. You're going to make sure that you're streaming this in 4K. We're pushing out the highest resolution possible at Speed Zone TV, giving you the best quality image and the best quality show when you're a driver and looking these things back. But you know, I'm going to be talking a lot, trying to bring you all the action here. Shout out to our sponsors that are rolling out in the bottom right-hand side. We mentioned Wagner's Welding. They've been a sponsor for many seasons and are back again, making it possible for you guys that view at home. 760 Graphics is another one. So if you're in the market for some paints and other designs that you may need, you can check them out. Another one is a partner this season is Renegade Racing. Roughneck Racing and Renegade Racing have partnered together. So if you're looking for a different style of racing, they're running, I believe, the super late models on Thursday nights, and partnering with the trucks here tonight. So if you could have a whole week of racing. Looking at that 74 truck, though, he's going to be controlling the start. These guys have 3 sets of tires, so 2 more. And 1 fast repair, so attrition can happen rather quickly here. There's going to be no tire strategy, but however, we're looking at about a 25-lap pit window. It's going to be interesting to see. Rumor is that there was a big payout if the field stayed green the entire race, but I just don't know if that's going to be happening tonight. Green is out. We're underway. 74 with that 96 truck getting a push from Pylan on the outside. Gonna have to watch to see what lanes are forming and who's able to push who. See that 3 rows there, 2 by 2. Done a great job so far of just slightly pulling away. Get a good shot of the field there. We're going to be completing our first lap. Get to see the shine from these trucks as they rip down turns 3 and 4. Our first lap is going to be complete. Down the backstretch, just hear these trucks roaring on by as these drivers are starting to stitch together strategy and get lined up with their teammates. Oh, caution out, that's a 27 going around. We're gonna have to see what happened there. Big checkup from the field, bunch of carnage. Have to take a look at our Speed Zone TV instant replay here to see if we can isolate how that started. Gonna be a tough one to pick out. Showing that the, let's see the timestamps here. Looking like, I believe it was a 30 truck up Monday going off the track here. Let's load up our Speed Zone TV instant replay. 57. We're going to have to work on these numbers. Caution's already started up there, so let's just rewind it back. Might be a little delayed. Check my settings here. Let's take a look up here. I think I may have found it. Roll at quarter speed. Look, there's a blink and a checkup. That's contact from Morton on the 27 of Hunter with a missing truck in front. Not sure we're going to be able to isolate that missing truck. Just go back 1 second here. That's Levy Williams here. Just speed it up one more time. Levy goes to the moon. And when he does, carnage ensues. Say that? Well, it just did. That's going to bring out, we'll just go back one more time now that we know where it is. And we'll watch it for you guys at home. As you can see, causing the 27 checks up with not knowing where the 01 goes. And I'm pretty sure that you're just going to see a whole bunch of carnage after this. It's going to be hard to untangle it all. That's 56 of Richards going to the bottom. 12 and 13 going into Morton and Hunter. Hunter's sliding down the track. 15 and the 25 to get together. That's going to be a lot of damaged trucks here. And unfortunately, these ones happen fast, and when they happen fast, there is nowhere to go. We're going to get back to some live action here. Try to dissect this enough. I'm not sure if that 01 truck has made it back into the field, but it's kind of hard to put fault on anyone for that. Going to be the first caution of the night. That's number 1. You're going to have to keep me honest and remember them. We got 2-ish laps done. Not 3 though, that's for sure. It's a whole bunch of broken trucks. These guys only have 1 fast repair. So unfortunately, this type of carnage is going to be detrimental to some of those race teams by not being directly involved in the accident. If significant damage happens again, then those drivers might not be able to fix it and could be parked very early on in this race. We don't want to see that for anyone, but this is where patience is going to be important. However, that was no fault of anyone. I think just the, that 0-1, just not being able to maintain a stable connection was the catastrophic event. Lights are off on the pace truck coming down the backstretch. Give a shout out to our sponsor, Wagner's Welding. Once again, next caution will be rolling our commercial. Give them some love. Based in North Carolina, if, these guys are tearing up trucks, they're going to stay in business, that's for sure. Hot afternoon at Daytona. You can see the sun reflecting off the trucks. Drivers are probably a little parched. Long way to go tonight. These cautions are killer, 2-minute laps. Have to see if everyone pitted in a second, so we'll run our pit telemetry here and give you guys an update as to who pitted. I don't think the leaders at the front are going to want to break away from the pits and lose their spot. 74 is a control car. That's Hennings again, getting it done into his superior performance paint on the outside, but Barker not backing out as Pilot gets in behind. See how tight they're running there. Pilot up on the bumper of Hennings, getting a good run on the outside corner of 2 down the backstretch. They're going to be pretty much even here. But if the outside line is able to work together, they tend to be a little bit more dominant on the outside on the long run. And if you're wondering, see the 74 machine is in the bottom, gets a little squirrely from the push from the 29. If you're seeing a car in the bottom side of the left-hand side of the screen, that's where the camera is focused on. Oh, we're seeing some interesting movement from the 56 of Richards a little bit further back in the field. It's going to take us a few races for everyone to learn these new paints. Looks like Barker is taking the lead down the backstretch as these cars are jockeying around, coming to lap 8 as they enter turn 3. Barker wasn't able to run a full season in Season 6, but had some very noticeable finishes, very strong contention. Perhaps if he would have been able to run a full season, he could have been a contender for that championship. Newcomer is the 23 truck of Eric Wright. Boy, some white. Gonna have to work on that one. We didn't see him last season, but he's off to a great start so far in the Good Wrench Service Plus truck on the bumper of the 96. Outside line is not able to get a charge. A bit further back, we'll take a look at the entire field, focusing on that 3 car of Hurst. New paint for him and his Renegade racing truck. And behind him is the 79 of Warhol. Laps can tick down awfully quick here. Outside line having trouble getting together. Allowing the 96, the 23, and the 50 to slightly break away from the field. That 14 car Fuller on the bottom, leaving a little bit of a gap Thought the 79 was, or sorry, 74 was going to jump down. Hunter making a move. On the 31 of McKee, also known as Blue Chew McKee on Sunday nights. You're looking for a little power in your punch. Get a hold of McKee. He's got the Blue Chews. Morton 3 wide. Making moves after suffering some carnage earlier. Tight on the 83 of BB. Carnage there, but it's below. That's Isbell and the 35 of Benke. Let's see if they're able to keep rolling here. No caution for either of those drivers. Not sure. Oh, he's off the track again. But below that yellow line, you're not going to see a caution. Let's see if we can go ahead and grab a Speed Zone TV instant replay here. We're just going to back it up before that heavy contact. See, coming out of the corner. Benke gets into the bumper of the 15, slides up to the wall. Bouncing off the 40, I believe, of Isgrig. Sliding down into the 6 of Isbell. And that's going to be our carnage right there. Let's get back up to regular action. Barker's still doing a great job of our leader right now as these guys are bumping around a little bit. Highland pushing the bumper of the 74 of Hennings. Lap 13 underway for Roughneck Racing's Wagner's Welding Truck Series, season number 7, race 1 at Daytona International Speedway. Speed Zone TV oh, that's the 45 sliding out of control. Don't know if we're going to be able to grab him. Oh, there's our caution. Let's see if we can rewind that back for you guys at home. On board with the 5 of Sam. Let's take a look at our good old far chase cam, our favorite camera of all the camera lands and replay lands. You can see 45 of Healy. Let's back that up one more time. Let's just see what the initial contact was here. 45 of Healy gives the 27 of Hunter a little bit of an aggressive bump. Hunter goes up into the wall, losing momentum. 45 then loses control and down into the 5 of Lussier. 45 then corrects as the 15 is in behind. Good checkup by the 15, but the 45 is sliding up the track. Sliding down the track. Where are we going? Looking like it's going to be all the carnage there. Good job by the league drivers to not have much more damage than the initial contact there. But our leader, still the 96. Drivers getting ready to come down pit lane. Be interesting to see if we see tires bolted on. And who's obviously going to, break out and get in front. Not anticipating any tires because super speedway tracks don't typically need them whatsoever. Looks like the 74 might beat the 96 off the line. That's the 29 car in third. Everyone shuffling out of the pits afterwards. Race number 1 tonight, Speed Zone TV. I'm Robert Warrens, bringing you the action for Roughneck Racing's first race. Been pretty decent racing so far. Drivers really haven't been able to get into that final rhythm of just getting everything sorted out with who their track partner's going to be. Yeah, definitely not allowing them to settle into it. Looking like that 78 machine of Manning has elected not to pit. We'll have to watch to see if Manning is going to be coming in this time. Manning also had a series of good runs right at the end of the season. Might be a contender for this year's championship. He's likely come in the last time around. No, he is still out. Lights should be off on the pace truck this time around. Puff, puff, pass, Fuller. Happy Puff's ice cream. We might have seen Fuller in a race or two in Season 6, but did not run a full schedule whatsoever. 12 machine, Dylan Grace, definitely new in the field this year in his Kellogg's Got Milk Frosted Flakes cereal. That might bring back some memories if you were a kid chewing on cereal. I was. Hennings beats out Barker and Pylan. Those were our guys up front last time. 79, Warall also up in the field, rocking a Speed Zone TV race control sticker. And I believe that's Wagner's Welding on the hood. Ross Tate, we saw him a couple times in his Sim Magic 50 last season. 23, we've talked about him tonight. Of Eric White. First, rocking the 3 of the Renegade Racing. Also had some notable finishes last season. 83 at BVB in his Blackstone. 27 of Hunter. Saw him involved in a few incidents tonight. Nowhere to go. Nice looking truck. Shines well. Wilkinson back in the field. That 20 M&Ms. I think he was running McDonald's last season. 88 of Morton. We've seen him before. 31 of McKee. I think we're getting ready to go green here. Go back up to the leader as the pace car ducks in. We're going to be focusing in on Manning. Take a look at some of those trucks later on. Seems that the cars are breaking loose under acceleration there. The leaders all get squirrely. Manning jumps away. Not necessarily a good thing. It's going to allow the other cars to stack up and get a draft. Henning's pushing the 14 machine of Fuller pretty aggressively. Be hard to see if Fuller is going to be able to drop. He's not going to be able to drop. Outside line has no takers. The 14 and 74 with the 23 in behind. Aren't going to be able to do too much without having at least 4 or 5 trucks. Well, probably 6 would even help. Drivers are going to have to watch temperatures as well. That's going to be critical. These trucks can heat up, and once that water temperature gets a little bit too high, kapooey, the technical term. The 3 line of trucks on the outside is actually doing pretty decent with pulling the inside line. That's Fuller, Hennings, and White on the outside line. 12 gets a little squirrely on the bottom side. 79 machine of Worrell jumps to the outside as well with Morton in behind. But Morton says, nuh-uh, we're going 3 wide, baby. Morton may not have any more fast repairs and might be risking it all for the biscuit a little too early. Barker pushing the 12 of Grace, and they're getting squirrely with the 29 in behind. This is where the action is right now. There's only one car is 3 wide in the field. And he's not backing out of it. He wants to the front. That's 88 of Mark Morton. I believe we saw him pick up a win or 2 last season. Talented driver, looking to get it done. These cars are getting squirrely though, as they get bumped. Fuller is able to drop to the bottom. That leaves Barker shooting down to the grass. There's more carnage there. Big carnage. Barker up into the wall as well. We're going to have to see what the heck happened. Go back here and give you a Speed Zone TV instant replay. Not sure what happened. Barker got shot to the bottom. But you can see already, is that island getting turned? Hard to see when my stats are bumping around there. Let's go ahead and take a look at this cam here. See a big stack up. 12 goes off the track. They all stack up on the bottom line. Pylon tags Barker, and the 50 of Tate tags Pylon into the 15. Gets airborne. It's a 40 of Isgreg, 27 of Hunter, 57 is Monday. Pylon definitely going to be checking out the infield care center. But just tons of carnage here. Pylon's still in the air. Tons of carnage for the season opener at Daytona International. But you know, one thing it's always fun to do. We're just going to let it play with some sound. Just see the carnage, the torn metal, the broken hearts. Get back to live action here. Barker might have lucked out there. He came up after a lot of the damage, but you know, as I had mentioned, there's only one fast repair for each driver tonight. So this could start to be the end of the night for some of these drivers if they keep getting caught up. We're not even halfway through the race yet. Our leader, 74 machine. No stranger to victory lane. Brian Hennings. Taking the surface road. Checking for ice cream. Ruff Racing also hosts some Money Series races that occur, I believe, on Friday nights and Wednesdays? Not sure. We'll have to get some more information for that, but if you guys are in the market for duking it out for some coin, the Money Series is where it's at, but you might be stacked up against some talented that you're not, ready to duke it out with. And I always find that super speedway racing is definitely a beast on its own. Lots of time left. Hoping that some of these drivers settle down. Lights are off on the pace truck. We'll be back in 1 second. Shout out to our sponsor, Wagner's Welding.
Roughneck Racing would like to thank our sponsor, Wagner Welding. Wagner Welding is a family-owned and operated business located in North Wilkesboro, North Carolina. They specialize in custom-built truck beds and framework of all types. You can reach them at 336-670-3427 or visit the shop located at 446 DeHart Church Road. Roughneck Racing would like to thank our sponsor, Wagner Welding. Wagner Welding is a family-owned and operated business located in North Wilkesboro, North Carolina. They specialize in custom-built truck beds and framework of all types. You can reach them at 336-670-3427 or visit the shop located at 446 DeHart Church Road. Roughneck Racing would like to thank our sponsor, Wagner Welding. Wagner Welding is a family-owned and operated business located in North Wilkesboro, North Carolina. They specialize in custom-built truck beds and framework of all types. You can reach them at 336-670-3427 or visit the shop located at 446 DeHart Church Road. Roughneck Racing would like to...
And we're back. Pace truck is coming out of turn 4 while I scratch my cheek. That's exactly what everyone wanted to hear. What's he doing? He's scratching his cheek. Coming to lap 25 at the line. Hennings have been up front most of the night. Same with that 23 of White. Green is out. Fuller having trouble on the start there, up into the wall. We saw at the last restart where drivers are losing control of their trucks on the restart. Hennings hasn't seen the bottom line in the draft, especially with the 23 behind him. These two are going to be able to work together quite well and possibly dominate the bottom side. On the outside there, you see the 88 of Morton and Warall with the 2 machine of Richardson making a 3-pack on the outside. Hurst hanging back in the 3 just a little bit. Bobbles up the track. Almost causes some carnage. 78 of Manning in behind Hurst. And I don't think we've talked about him yet, but that's a 17. of Presley rocking his Tennessee truck. Great Morgan Wallen song. Whether you're a fan or not, because I certainly didn't ask. That's not how these broadcasts work at Speed Zone TV. Back up with our leaders here. Good drafting. Oh, almost half the way to the race here. Looks like we've had a couple trucks retire, and also a couple trucks are off pace. See White getting a little squirrely in front of Hurst with the bump draft. Same with Rohrall behind Morton. That bottom line is going to be hard to pass now with these drivers working as well as they are. Henry slides up to steal the draft for a second. Probably see him drop low on the entry. He's going to let White take it away with Hurst and Manning on the bottom. Some great racing here. 3 wide, but you know, these guys get racy, and then we've seen it. Somebody bobbles, something happens. There you go, that's Hurst. Caution is out again. Let's just back this up. We won't use those fancy replays. Hurst gets below the apron, gets squirrely, comes up in front of Manning, gets a little help, but then also comes back up the track, hard into Manning. Manning's going into Barker. Richardson also getting tagged. Back onto Hurst here. Let's see if we can grab somebody else. That's the 45? Nope. Clicking around trying to figure out who the heck that is. Let's just back that up one more time, and we're just going to let the camera rip. On board with Barker. Boom. Might be the 79 of Warhol. Going to be a tough break for Barker. He had to tow, as you can see it there. Get back to live action. See these drivers come in. They're going to want to top up fuel. Henning slides the box. Still beats out Morton. I guess that pit box is an advantage. We'll have to see what drivers stayed out. But it's going to start to look like we're thinning out. I'm showing a couple parks. Our truck, a couple trucks are parked in the pits and are likely not coming out. We're going to have some new leaders up front. It's going to be interesting to see different drivers up front. The 45's a lap down, but the 57 of Monday is in third, and Blue Chew McKee in second, and the 5 of Lussier first. These 3 trucks haven't been up front tonight. Definitely going to be different in the mix because the leaders that are sitting in 4th and beyond, who've been up front consistently all night, have not pushed or worked with these drivers before. That 5 machine was a regular last season. This is actually his presence up front here is notable. For him to have a strong run tonight, I'm hoping he can stitch it together and get it done in that 5 Toyota powered Valvoline machine. Lights are off on the pace truck. Blink from the outside of McKee. I'll have to watch that. Time to stack her up, boys and girls. Green is out squirrely again. You see Monday get squirrely. McKee gets squirrely as well. Henning's on the bumper of McKee trying to get him started with White in behind. Hennings and White going to drop to the bottom. Morton getting it done. Richardson a little swirly on the exit of 2. Down the backstretch. Coming to lap 34. Richardson jumps to the high side in front of Morton. Looking for a little push to get himself to the front. Not with Hennings and White on the bottom, pushing that 5 machine of Lussier. Morton glued to the bumper of Richardson. We've seen lots of hard racing, and when we start to see it too hard, we start to see the carnage. I'm hoping these drivers settle the X down so we can have some good green flag runs here, but super speedway racing doesn't allow drivers to have that level of patience. Outside line, not able to mount up and charge. Henning jumps the outside down the front stretch after the tribal in front of Richardson. Lassier loses a little bit of steam, a little bit of bobble from the 5 and Richardson. Outside line's going to make a good charge. That's a 20 of Wilkinson dropping below the track. Outside line kind of falls apart a little bit as Richardson and Henning drop to the bottom to lead the charge on the bottom line. Morton getting a little bit of help from the 88. Or sorry, Morton getting a little bit of help from the 57 on the outside. 23 of White jumps to the high side. Morton's got a heck of a charge. Oh, 57 touches the wall. He's going to lose the momentum there. Outside line is just falling off. On board with Presley. Let's go ahead and hop inside his cockpit for a second. Showing you how tight these drivers are. Presley sucks up to the bumper of Lassier with White and Morton on the outside. Oh, contact! No caution, no caution yet. Stopped on the track. He's towing. Not sure what happened here. Let's go ahead and take a look at our Speed Zone TV instant replay really quick. We're just going to let it play from 14 truck gets turned. Not sure who turned him. Let's just back it up one more second because we can. It's looking like the 27 of Hunter does not check up, gets into the bumper of him. As the other drivers were able to slow up for what looked like the carnage up front. Well, let's get back to our live action here. On board with our leader, Hennings. Morton on the outside. White pushing Morton. And a few trucks back on the bottom side is the 31 of McKee. That's Richards on the outside. The 56, big checkup behind Monday for McKee. .22 laps to go. These guys pitted around lap 30, I believe. So potentially there's going to be like a stop and go of needing a splash of fuel. Probably going to need a couple gallons. But what I'm noticing here is just kind of based on how these trucks are entering is that the tires are starting to play a slight bit of factor. Drivers aren't necessarily able to hold the bottom side on entry. There's a little bit of push. The truck slides up the track. About a quarter car length or more, depending on the driver. I see some carnage there, maybe. They get it squared away. That's the 6 of Isbell. 25 at Briner gets slight contact into the wall. Down the backstretch we go one more time. We're all sliding way up the track. Contact there, Warhol. Caution's out. Not really sure what the full caution was for. Let's see what we can find on our Speed Zone TV camera. That didn't really look, I'm not really seeing an indication, so we're just going to randomly back it up here. See what we can see from this angle. You know that Warhol got tagged there, I believe, by the 31. And Isbell was involved. 40 is Grigg. You can see him dancing around up into the wall. The rest of the drivers look like they make it through. .31 coming back down, Blue Chew. Damage everywhere. That's going to be our Speed Zone TV instant replay. We're going to get back to live action again. We figure out how the cameraman works his stuff. Good job, cameraman. $18 laps to go. Seen a bunch of cautions tonight. This should take the fuel strategy out of the race. Drivers should be pitting. Unless we missed it already. Let's scroll through. Yes, they have. So should be able to go green the entire way here. Rumor was that if there was no cautions tonight, admins are going to be paying out $50 to each driver. However, they threw that out the window, stomped on it. No stake for anyone. But Speed Zone TV tonight bringing you the action. I'm the broadcaster, Roberto Warnes, also known as Robert Warnes, here for Roughneck Racing season number 7 of the Wagner's Welding Truck Series. Wagner's Welding came on board again to sponsor another season. They're the title sponsor. Shout out to 760 Graphics. If you're in the market for paints or you need some special logos up, you want to reach out to them. And also a new partner this year is Renegade Racing, working with Roughneck Racing. They run on opposite nights, but the drivers from both series work together to put on some great shows for everyone. Just a reminder, if you are watching the broadcast live, there's a gearbox in the bottom right-hand side. Switch that to 4K view, broadcasting in the highest definition YouTube has to offer, so you have the best visual quality to be seen from the comfort of your home. Definitely going to need a caution counter at one of these points. Been a few. No pressure to the 23 machine. One of our viewers tonight has leveraged their life savings on the 23 machine of Eric White to win the race. Oh, Lord. Also, 01, unfortunately, no longer in the race. Somebody's going to be losing their parents' house. That's unfortunate. 17 laps to go. Green is out once again. Most part, everyone stays straight, but, you know, from those previous restarts, we've seen the squirrely squirrels happen. Good jump for Hennings. Highland pushing the 23 White with Richardson and Hurst on the bottom. Have to see which lane Morton picks. Highland tags the 23 in an awkward spot on the left rear quarter. Forty machine of Isgreg. I don't think we've seen him up this far at the front before, but here he is. $16 laps to go. We've seen some impatience already. Are we going to see more? If I had one of those like black 8 magic balls, I'd shake it right now, but I do not. Anyways, it'd probably say yes anyways, so whatever. Here we are, Speed Zone TV, with the action tonight for Wagner's Welding Truck Series. Two by two, 3 rows back, they single out, and then 2 by 2 further back. That looks to be about like 10th-ish or so. Leaders are going to be coming up on some lap traffic. The outside line makes the move. Gets around the 74 and 2. Putting Morton, White, and Pylon in the lead of the hot seat of the inside line. Sometimes it's a little too soon to make the move, so might be a strategy by that 74 who's no slouch at super speedway racing. Actually, the entire, I would say, you know, top 5, top 8, maybe the top, you know, this could be anyone's race right now. It's a little too early to call. Doing a good job. Drivers are somewhat singling out. Going to be passing Hunter and Barker. See how the rest of the field gets through. '57 and '56 are going to have to get a little bit lower here. Navigating this lap traffic is important with only 12 laps to go. Drivers jumping to the high line. Who was that? That's Pylon making a move on the outside with Hennings in behind, looking to charge up on the 23 of White and Morton. Morton's going to block the outside. Heavy bump from Pylon on Morton. Got to be careful. Sometimes that could lead into some damage. where we talked about the power of the inside and the outside line. Depending on who works with who is how we'll see the lines work. Who's going to jump to the bottom? Hennings makes the first jump. 11 laps to go. Morton splits. Richardson bumps Pilon. Hennings is going to have a good bump for Morton. White in the bottom. That's a 3 machine on behind the 2 of Richardson with Copperthorne in behind him. Great camera shot of 4 bricks of 2x2. Well, there's 5 bricks, 6 bricks, 7 bricks, 8 bricks, 9 bricks, 10 bricks. 20 cars side by side coming to the line for 10 laps to go. What we don't need to see is a caution now. I want to see these drivers duke it out. Little bobble from Richardson and Pilon. The inside line breaks away. That's a Kelly Clarkson song. Breakaway, I believe. I don't know. I don't know if you guys want me to sing it. I certainly can. This is our leaders now. Morton fought his way up to the front, going 3 wide several laps ago, probably 20 laps ago. Now he's up here in contention for the win. He's got no fast repair left. We saw him get torn up earlier. It's going to be interesting to see what happens here. We know the 29 machine, a Pilon, does not have a fast repair. That's another one we've seen do a helicopter. Also a song. Richardson going to be pushing Pilon down the backstretch with Hurst. Caution is out. Definitely not up front here. Donnie Neal giving a shout out to Jimmy Pilon. See what the replay shows for caution. I'm gonna let it play here. I'm not showing any indication specifically as to why a caution was out. Looks like 12 car was involved. Dylan Grace. Back it up there and see if we can see the contact. Looks like Blue Chew McKee in that 31 goes 3 wide. BB slides up a little bit, about a half car, almost a full truck. 31 tags the left rear of the 12. He's able to get away with minimal damage. All comes through on the bottom. 66 to Feidler. Gets a good checkup. 15 a Miller. 12 was trying to save it with all his might. But by this time, the caution's already out. We're going to get back to live action. Let's see what happening up in the hizzy up front. Only 8 laps to go. Morton is our leader. It's going to be interesting to see what happens on this restart here. We've seen both lines come alive. If you need to use the lavatories, it might be a good time. We're winding down to the final parts of race 1 at Daytona International Speedway for the Wagner's Welding Truck Series. Season 7 at Roughneck Racing and this one hasn't disappointed so far with the laps winding down. I'm expecting, unfortunately, a little bit more carnage, a little bit more excitement. But if you're not driving, that's okay, right? You can always watch and observe. That's probably the best feeling in the world. Lights are still on the pace car. Speed Zone TV is going to be here with you all season. As it starts to unfold, we'll be able to give a little bit more insight as to how points are shaking down, past finishes of drivers, and kind of trends that we're seeing. When we move to speedway tracks, we're able to kind of dissect tire wear and turning abilities of drivers, and also see kind of inputs as far as throttle control goes and braking. Monitor how drivers manage their equipment, and that's really kind of one of the trade secrets in iRacing, is being able to maintain your equipment for long run speed. Anyone could be fast for a lap, but being fast at lap 20, maintaining pace and dominating the field is always very interesting. Those are the fun ones to watch out and watch their inputs for. So we'll be bringing that type of info when we go to, I believe it is Homestead next week. Let's take a look at our Roughneck Racing schedule. So we're off next week for the Great American Independence Day, or if you're Canadian, Canada Day. It's not as popular, that's for sure. We'll be back July 9th. The 16th, we're heading to Michigan, and then the 23rd is Kentucky. Rockingham is the 30th. That's going to round out our next 4 races. Very different tracks with styles of corners, right? So Homestead is very long and swooping. Michigan's got a little bit tighter. Kentucky is, I guess, more flat, but Rockingham is going to be a beast. I don't think there's going to be too many friends there, but we're set off to have a 12 race series here, and we'll be here all season, crowning a champion at the end of it. Pace truck just ducked in. You probably didn't see it, but I did. And we're going green again. We're gonna have to watch the squirrelies. Looks like the tire wear, not a factor this time. 88 gets a great start. We're gonna have to see if he jumps on the high side to stop the run of Hennings with Pilot in behind. White pushing Morton. That's the 88 on the bottom. We're gonna have to see how the backup row cars gets charged, and that's Isgrig on the bottom with Richardson and Hurst on the top side in behind. Hennings is charging. He's dropping to the bottom side, leaving Pilot all alone. Last season's champ. Bye, says Justin Timberlake, as Hennings is able to charge forward. Coming to 4 laps to go. These are green-white checkers are enabled, so once we take the white, race is official. But I'm not sure we're done fighting yet. Outside line doing a good job of getting together. That's Richardson on the bumper of Pilot, with Hurst, Richards, and Ramsey on the high side. Is Greg hanging a little back from the bumper with a white truck. That's the 23 of white. Fancy that. 2x2 as far as the eye can see as they come down the backstretch into turn 3. Definitely indicative of super speedway racing is don't blink, don't think, just drive. Not going to be looking forward the entire time here, especially if you're Hennings. You're going to be watching the outside line of the 29 truck to see if you need to block a run. Richardson doing a great job in his Wagner's Welding 2 machine, pushing the 29 of Pylon in his squeaky teen. Oh, carnage in behind. That's Isbell. Let's see if we see a caution reason. We don't see a crash. Not sure why, but let's see. Just back it up here for our Speed Zone TV instant replay. I'm not seeing a true flag as to what happened here. Quarter speed for a second. We're going to take a look at the 6. Saw him lose it first. Here's regular speed as we come out. I'm not sure what happened there, but it's looking like the 6 machine gets a run here, pulls his wheel to the right with no room to go anywhere, and that's the 14 of Fuller with a 96 of Barker, who's had absolutely zero luck tonight. I wouldn't be buying a lottery ticket with Barker anytime soon. Sorry, bud. But that 6 machine of Isbell riding the roof, that's a 25 of some other driver. I don't know, of Briner. There he is. We're going to get back to live action. I'm not expecting we're going to be seeing anyone hop into the pits. Hennings, Pylon, Morton. 3 laps to go. Hennings in the pits. Not sure why. But here you are with Speed Zone TV wondering, like the viewers, the heck, Hennings, you can't be giving up the lead like this. Comes out to the back, no stopping. Very interesting. Splash of fuel. Not sure what to make of it. Maybe he's considering a green-white checkered, and if green-white checkers do occur, maybe perhaps, you know, we're going to see him shuffle up to the front. Last season's champ is on the pole, Jimmy. Rowdy Pylon with Morton in behind, Richardson, White, and Hurst round out the top 5. These caution laps, 2 minutes long, enough to drive anyone absolutely insane. It's going to be interesting to see if drivers do start to fall off. It's going to be very interesting to see the fuel strategy for Hennings in that 74 machine play out. Big kind of gamble. I wasn't expecting to see that. I'm sure no one else was. But here we are. Lights are off on the pace truck. We have 2 more minutes of caution before we get back under green. is probably where drivers start to go insane. It's a balance between, am I going to make it to the next lap, or am I going to be in 10th and winning the race? And the strategy that somebody takes when there's carnage in front of them is absolutely amazing, both in a good and bad way. Good when somebody obviously makes the right decision, but bad when you don't, and you drive into somebody. So very interesting here. Watch this play out. Pace truck should be ducking off this time around. Have to watch the start. '29 gets a good start. Getting a push. Oh! That's Richards. They didn't even... Oh, Henning's caught up in that. Not good for the 74 machine. Take a look at our Speed Zone TV instant replay. Finally got something that I'm able to show you guys here, but we're going to go on the 56 of Richards. That's kind of where I saw the carnage happen. That's a 13, I believe, of Ramsey. Richards loses control. And 57 of Monday's got nowhere to go. Richards also getting tagged by other trucks. Henning's getting shot out to the moon. Not sure how that happened for him. That's the 14 of Fuller. Hard on the gas. Hennings checks up, and you can see the bump from the 14 from Fuller, sending him into the 56 of Richards hard. Off break for Hennings there. Get back to live action. That's our Speed Zone TV instant replay. Not sure if we're going to see people pitting. Nobody's going to want to pit. Lights are still on the pace truck. We're going to give a shout out to our sponsor, Wagner's Welding, and we'll be back momentarily.
Roughneck Racing would like to thank our sponsor, Wagner Welding. Wagner Welding is a family-owned and operated business located in North Wilkesboro, North Carolina. They specialize in custom-built truck beds and framework of all types. You can reach them at 336-670-3427 or visit the shop located at 446 DeHart Church Road. Roughneck Racing would like to thank our sponsor, Wagner Welding. Wagner Welding is a family-owned and operated business located in North Wilkesboro, North Carolina. They specialize in custom-built truck beds and framework of all types. You can reach them at 336-670-3427 or visit the shop located at 446 DeHart Church Road. Roughneck Racing would like to thank our sponsor, Wagner Welding. Wagner Welding is a family-owned and operated business located in North Wilkesboro, North Carolina. They specialize in custom-built truck beds and framework of all types. You can reach them at 336-670-3427 or visit the shop located at 446 DeHart Church Road. Roughneck Racing would like to thank our sponsor, Wagner Welding. Wagner Welding is a family-owned and operated business located in North Wilkesboro, North Carolina. They specialize in custom-built truck beds and framework of all types. You can reach them at 336-670-3427 or visit the shop located at 446 DeHart Church Road.
Well, that's enough of waiting. It's time to get back to
Roughneck
action
Racing
here
would like to thank our sponsor, Wagner
for
Welding.
race number 1, Daytona International Speedway for the Wagner's Welding Truck Series. Seems like we've been stuck on lap 3 forever. And here we are, of course. Let's take a look at our pit window. So drivers came in on lap 42. We know that estimates around 25 laps for fuel. 25 puts us at 67. We're already, to me, in overtime. It's just a matter of how many laps. Last season's champion, the 29 Tide Machine of Jimmy Pilon, on the hot seat. The bird's cat's eye view, whatever that other former broadcaster used to hang out with me would say. The bird's eye see, or I don't know. Looking at the bird cage. Doesn't matter. Morton swerving that truck, heating the tires. Looking for all the secret sauce he can get. White on the outside of Morton. Richardson behind Pilon with Hurst in behind Richardson. We are crowning a winner sometime tonight. Could be somebody who pitted. Who knows? Pace truck might even run out of fuel at this rate. Green is out. Pilon gets a good start with Richardson, Hurston behind. That's Ramsey jumping to the bottom, I believe. And the black truck. No caution yet. Single file for the most part. Looks like White is out of gas. That's a 23. Falling off the pace, holding the high side, but Morton does not have a draft partner. Isgrig coming up behind him now. Morton cuts down low. Once that white flag is out, it's a fish. Final lap, race is official. Green, white, checkered is not an option. Morton looking for a dance partner. Richardson on the bumper, Pilon with Hurston, Ramsey in behind. Isgrig in 5th on the bottom side. Coming out of 2 down the back stretch. Got another driver jumping to the high side. I think that's the 40 machine of Isgrig. Hurst jumps to the high side too. We're going to have an epic battle here at the end. 3 wide. Morton tags the 3. No fault of his own, but we're going to watch his leaders up here. See if Richardson's able to make a move. Looks like he's going to be happy with second place finish behind Pilon. Ramsey 3rd. Pilon's going to be our winner tonight. Worrell, Manning, Wilkinson, Hennings gets back up there. Laurent, Copperthorne, and Beebe round out the top 10. Tough break for Morton. Let's go ahead and take a look at that replay one more time. Rewinding it like one of those savages. speed it up here. Awesome. This is coming to turn 3. Morton gets a big push on Isgrig. Actually knocks him loose. Isgrig 3 wide. And Morton keeps his foot into it and bumps the 3 of Hurst. Copperthorne tags Morton. And you can just see the big stack up there. Copperthorne looks like he's able to square away. Just more carnage for Morton. Hurst getting tagged by the 5 of Lussier. But that's going to be our show for tonight. Making the race official if we can get it to go back live. 29 truck burning them down. Alongside our other top 3 finishers of Richardson and Ramsey. Going to take a quick break here and then get to some driver interviews.
Roughneck Racing would like to thank our sponsor, Wagner Welding. Wagner Welding is a family-owned and operated business located in North Wilkesboro, North Carolina. They specialize in custom-built truck beds and framework of all types. You can reach them at 336-670-3427 or visit the shop located at 446 DeHart Church Road. Roughneck Racing would like to thank our sponsor, Wagner Welding. Wagner Welding is a family-owned and operated business located in North Wilkesboro, North Carolina. They specialize in custom-built truck beds and framework of all types. You can reach them at 336-670-3427 or visit the shop located at 446 DeHart Church Road.
We're bringing in our third place
Roughneck
finisher,
Racing would like to thank our sponsor, Wagner.
Chris Ramsey. I'm not sure we've had an interview with this fine young scholar before, but congrats, Chris, on your P3 tonight. How's it feel, buddy?
Man, it feels great. It's nice to get in the top 3 for a change. I've been having some luck last season quite a bit, and to come out in the first race of the season and get a top 3, it's pretty exciting.
Heck yeah! Have we ever spoke before? I don't know.
I've been in the interview room several times, but I don't know if we have or not.
Oh well, dang. What's up, buddy? How'd your strategy work out for you tonight? Like, what you're trying to do? Like, I don't think it was until the later half of the race, almost like the last third, that I started to see you kind of charge up to the front. So, what kind of strategy do you employ?
I mean, I was just trying to stay out of trouble as much as I could. I did get in some trouble early in the race. I had to, get some damage fixed, and I was able to get that fixed, and then slowly move up, just being kind of methodical about where I could put my truck and try to find the right spots to try to move up. And I just kept moving up a little bit at a time through it, each one of the cautions, and I was just finding the right place at the right time at the end of the race.
Yeah, we saw, like, on the broadcast there, the 23 machine ran out of fuel. What was your fuel situation like in those GWCs?
I mean, I still had enough fuel to go. I have about probably a half a gallon of fuel left in the tank. So, I mean, I wasn't an issue as far as running it out to the end of the race. And so I didn't know that he ran out of fuel. I knew something happened because he just kind of dropped off real quick.
Yeah, that's I didn't notice anyone else in that situation, but I think it was just interesting because a lot of the drivers came in on lap 42. The fuel window was around lap 25, and we were into that overtime situation where, you're firing up the truck, burning off fuel and whatnot. But, you made it to P3 tonight. Would you have done anything different? Give the bumper to Richardson or Pylan to get up there and get your victory, or what?
No, I mean, with them being teammates, I'm super stoked that we got 1, 2, 3 tonight, and then unfortunately we didn't finish all of our team up there where we'd like to have been. Johnny obviously got into a little bit on the outside. He was trying to make some moves on the outside, and we were trying to make sure that we could keep it 1, 2, 3, 4 for our team, and unfortunately, it just didn't happen. But yeah, we were able to get the top 3 spots tonight. That was good.
Heck yeah, brother. Who do you want to give a shout out to?
I mean, obviously, I want to give it to R&R, obviously for the sponsors' perspective, and for you, for race control and broadcasting as well. I mean, you do a great job, and just make sure y'all get a shout out for that, and appreciate all y'all do.
Awesome. Well, congrats on your P3 tonight, Chris. I hope to be chatting you later again and on the season. We're going to Homestead in 2 weeks. We're taking a week off for Independence Day and good old Canada Day if you're Canadian. But you're probably not that flavor of red and white like I am. You're the red, white, and blue, I suppose. What are your thoughts on Homestead before I send you on your way?
I mean, it's a fun track. Obviously, there's a little bit more. Obviously, from a tire wear perspective, you got to be a little bit more cautious going into the turns. Make sure you have a good balance of that, and getting on the throttle and braking a little bit. So I mean, it's a challenging track, but it's a lot of fun.
Heck yeah! Well, congrats again, Chris. I hope to be chatting you again soon, sometime this season.
Yeah, man. Talk to you then.
Yeah, take care. That was our P3 finisher, Chris Ramsey. We're going to be pulling in our P2 in just a second. And Tim Richardson's going to be our P2 finisher. Oh, Timmy! What's up, Timmy? Congrats on your P2 tonight. That's the soundboard always messes me up, man.
What's up, brother? Hey, appreciate you.
Great run tonight. Same thing with Ramsey, yourself as well. I didn't really see you up front until the later part of the race. Was that the strategy that you had picked? Or the strategy that kind of happened?
Well, I qualified terribly, so that's just what happened. And it just kind of turned into laying back and trying to take care of the truck. One of those cautions, I got ARCA braked all to hell and gave me back end aero damage. And I raced with that the entire race. I never used my fast repair, so every time I would go in and top off with fuel, they'd tell me that the damage wasn't repairable. So I ran the whole about 3/4 of that race. I've ran with damage that wasn't repairable.
Yeah, and that's something like that. I don't want to call it phantom damage, but the unrepairable damage here is detrimental. And
oh yeah, absolutely. The draft it makes all the difference. The slightest bit of damage, you're in trouble here.
Yeah. We're taking 2 weeks off. We're heading to Homestead. Is that a track we're going to see you up in the booth again?
If I practice, maybe.
Well, I mean,
if I hire the broadcaster to give me some tips on the side, we could probably be in the podium every week. But no, man, like you said, is just kind of laid back, took care of the truck, and decided. I mean, you saw from that point forward, I kind of started making my way up, and I wasn't going to lay back anymore. I was like, all right, it's time to get to the front and stay there. So,
and
lay back, take care of it, go to the front.
Interestingly enough, like we saw the 74 of Hennings duck into the pits. I likely feel he was like at risk of fuel. What was your fuel situation like?
Oh, I took more than I needed. That very last pit stop I went in. The way the race was trending, it was a caution fest. That's a shame because I love drafting tracks. I'm gonna have to get these guys better at this, but I kind of figured that we were gonna see green, white checkers. If I'm being honest, I just made sure I had enough and wasn't gonna have to pit again. So whatever lap that was, the last stop I went in, I took as much fuel as I could take and got back out.
Yeah, I mean, great strategy because you don't want to be on the wrong side of that coin toss. And one of the things I noticed too, and maybe you can comment on it, is that the restarts looked a little greasy. I saw a caution result from a greasy restart. Did you have any trouble firing off in, I suppose, second gear?
Yeah, I was in second, and actually that first green, white checkered, I slid the tires a little bit. I didn't take a set of tires the whole race. I know some of the other guys in my chat that I was racing with did. I stayed on the same set, and they were, I did have some tire wear, and it was greasy. It was. I definitely slid them once or twice, but luckily I had Johnny, a teammate, right there to give me that bump needed to send him and Jimmy out to ultimately go 1-2. And I hate what happened to Johnny. That sucks, man. But
Yeah, definitely tough racing there, and unfortunate consequence for Johnny. Just, I don't even know what to say about that, so I won't say anything at all because it kind of sucked. But you
Yeah.
guys, you broke away. You were able to get out front like that, and it seemed, once the bottom cars like yourself and Pylon were able to work together with Ramsey in behind, the outside line couldn't really mount a significant enough challenge, especially on that last restart when I believe the 23 of white ran out of fuel. Morton couldn't do anything,
man.
so he was clean, dropped back to the back, but that suffocated the outside line, which really ultimately gave yourself, Pylon, Ramsey very limited challenging because they didn't have the momentum built up.
Yeah, and unfortunately for Mark, all of us were in the same chat together, so we were all kind of working together right there at the end. But yeah, shout out to my teammates, Jimmy, Ace, Ramsey was with us tonight, and Johnny, of course. Like I said, hate what happened to him. That's racing. It is what it is. Congrats to Jimmy, of course.
Yep. We'll be talking to him in a second. But is there anyone else you want to give a shout out to, Tim?
James Wagner Welding, as always. Couldn't do it without him.
Yeah,
this podium's for him.
We ran that commercial a few times tonight, and based on the carnage in the field, I'm sure they got a jig plate and they can weld up some new trucks.
Well, that is awesome. Yeah, shout out to 760 Graphics, Heath, for all my paint jobs. He hooks me up. Appreciate you, Heath. Appreciate Dougie doing the race control, and shout out to you, Robert, for the awesome broadcast as always, man.
Heck yeah, brother. Well, we'll see you again in 2 weeks, Tim. Services are always available should you want to use them, and or anybody in Roughneck. I'm happy to work with you guys and get you all faster and suited up and getting better. So,
hey, we appreciate it, man.
P2 tonight. We'll be talking again sometime through the season, and yeah, go celebrate, buddy.
All right, man. Appreciate you.
Yeah, take care. That was our P2 finisher, Tim Richardson. We're going to be bringing down Smoke Show here. Jimmy Pylon, right, meow. Jimmy, our Dubs in the booth. How's it going, brother? How's that win feel?
Feels pretty good, Robert. Feels pretty good. I like starting off the season the way I finished it.
Yeah, exactly. So last season's champion coming out with a big dub tonight, and that was kind of in my footnotes of somebody who's going to win here is going to carry a lot of momentum into the second race at Homestead on July 9th. So what are your thoughts on Homestead when we're you got the points lead? That's pretty obvious, but is Homestead a good track for you?
It's kind of hit and miss. So I don't remember where I finished last season. I don't think it was too terrible. I don't think it was great neither. So it's kind of hit and miss. But I like Homestead either way. Unfortunately, even though it's not been the kindest to me. But as you know, that's the way she goes sometimes. So
yeah, definitely, it's like a love-hate relationship with food, right? Like everyone likes ice cream or sweets, but then you shouldn't eat them all the time. I saw you involved earlier on in a caution where you I believe did the helicopter with some barrel rolls. What happened there from your perspective?
From my perspective, I got Ace a little bit loose, and then when he tried gathering up in front of me, I just hit him again, and it sent him to the inside, and then it just caused a massive chain reaction. That's on me. That was 100% my fault. I even told RC that was my fault, and I feel bad for all the guys that got wrecked in it and torn up. That was on me, and I will try to do better next time on not causing a incident like that.
Yeah, I mean, stuff happens, right? And I think more concerning was I didn't know if you were going to have to tow and make it back out there because that car, that truck did quite some amazing feats of carnage, right? So, is what it
It
is.
Yeah, it definitely did. I just held on and just held my breath and kind of prayed that my engine wouldn't blow or let go on me.
Yeah, kabooey, that's for sure. We saw a couple green white checkers at the end, where the field couldn't really get settled down. Were you in a situation to run out of gas whatsoever?
No, no, I had enough for another green white checkered if we had one. Um, so I that last time I pit, I made sure to have extra fuel. Actually, before the first we started the green white checkers, I had like 14-ish laps of fuel,
Oh wow.
so I had plenty.
What about tire strategy for you? Did you take tires at all through the night?
Nope. But one thing that did surprise me is, and I think they've changed it, is that my tires actually lost tire wear percentage. Because one of the last times I pit, I looked at my tire wear just to see, and it was like 95 on the right front, 94 on the right rear, I believe.
Oh, interesting.
Um, yeah, so that was really interesting to me. I don't remember ever doing that. So I don't know if I was doing something to cause that or if they changed how the tires wear down with these updates recently. So I was spinning them a little bit on those restarts, but that
100%, yeah.
um those last two restarts, I really made sure not to spin my tires.
Yeah, I definitely noticed a lot of people struggling with that. I think I noticed you one time or twice as well. It's just you got a little
Mhm.
squirrely and it was causing the field to stack up. But that last restart, you were able to break away, get it done. Richardson was obviously locked onto your bumper and not breaking away. Were you watching your mirror at all, wondering if he was going to try to get the dub for himself?
No, no, me and Tim um talked about that, and I told him, man, if you see an opportunity to pass me and go for it, man, go for it. Like, and he was like, no, man, I'm pushing you to the win. Like, we got uh me and Tim and Johnny and um Chris are on the team, and we was like, no, we're pushing this line and pushing you to the win. So I have to give Tim, Johnny, and Chris the biggest shout outs for helping me get my win, pushing me to the win, helping me keep my head into it. Because there's quite a few times where I got aggravated and a little peed off, but they kept me in it, kept me focused like they always do. So I have to give the biggest shout outs to them guys. Um, they always push me to get better, consistent. Um, they're in my opinion the best teammates out of any of the guys in the league.
Yeah, and it's definitely important, especially when you have long cautions here and really tough racing where everyone's equally fast, that you have a cool head and you can stay in it. But you were able to get it tonight, John. Tonight, you were able to get it done tonight, Jimmy. Last season's champion, this season's first winner. Congratulations to you. Other than those teammates you just mentioned, who the heck do you want to give a shout out to?
My awesome family, my brother, my sister-in-law, my little nephews. Um, it's funny. My little nephews are they're younger. And I was talking to them about one race and how I give them shout outs and stuff, and they both tell me, "Oh, you're famous." I'm like, I started laughing. I'm like, I'm not famous, buddy, but thank you.
Well,
And
everyone's a little famous, buddy. It's the internet.
yeah. And then I want to give a big shout out to Kyle and Evan, two really good buddies of mine. They always support me in my racing. Um, so I want to give them the biggest shout out. I want to give you, Robert, a big shout out and Speed Zone TV for putting on the amazing broadcast y'all did last season, and I'm sure y'all are going to knock it out of the park again this season. So thank y'all as well.
Heck yeah, brother. Well, congratulations tonight again, Jimmy, on your win. It's been great seeing you race all last season and now this season as well. You're definitely a contender for another
Um,
points championship. So just do your homework and keep fighting. We'll be back here in 2 weeks for Homestead. So you got 2 weeks to figure the truck out.
Yep. One thing before you let me go though, I was telling Tim like and Johnny like I'm gonna be gone in like the weekend of the 23rd or the weekend of the 30th for a short vacation. So I'm gonna miss either Rockingham or Kentucky, which is unfortunate. But I told Tim before he got his interview, I was like, even with me missing a race, like this really helps. So that means a lot to me that they knowing that and them knowing that pushing me to the win was huge.
Oh, for sure. I mean, that's what good teammates do, right? Like, it's not about an individual win, it's about a team win. And you guys definitely showed that you're willing to work together, put away individual goals, and look at like a team goal. So, great to see.
And for the team to finish 1, 2, 3, I couldn't have asked for more except for Johnny finishing third or fourth.
Yeah, he was in the mix there and just got caught up in some carnage, right? So,
Yep.
hopefully it settles down for the next race. A little too many cautions, but definitely gets your homework done for Homestead, Jimmy. Congrats on your win, and
Will do.
we'll be talking to you soon.
All right, thank you, Robert, again, and I will be hopefully talking to you soon.
Yeah, take care, buddy.
Take care.
That was our winner, Jimmy Ratty Pilot, in his 29 tie truck, burning it down once again. Interesting race tonight. We saw, tire strategy was mentioned, was kind of a thing. We saw some greasy restarts, which is not really indicative of super speedway racing. So, taking tires would likely been an advantage. Fuel did play a factor tonight with jockeying the cautions. Pretty sure that the 23 truck ran out of fuel on that last green-white checkered, which unfortunately stacked up the outside line, but not unfortunately for our winner in the 29 machine, Jimmy Pilen and Richardson in P2 and Ramsey P3. They're going to be our podium finishers tonight. We'll take a quick look at our results grid, run through the field. So once again, Pilen taking the victory home tonight. Our first winner of the season, last season's champion, Richardson P2, Ramsey P3, Worrell P4, Manning P5, Wilkinson P6, Hennings P7 after his pitch strategy there. Laurent P8, Copperthorne P9, BB P10, McKee, Blue Chew McKee, that's just in case you're wondering, in the 31 truck in 11th, 56 of Richards in 12th, Presley 13th, Benke 14th, Fiedler 15th, Isgrig 16th, Morton 17th, Grace 18th, Hurst 19th, Lussier in 20th, and let's see how this clicks out. In 21st is White. Unfortunate break for him. He was up front all night. 27 of Hunter got caught up in a bunch of carnage. Fuller in 23rd, Miller in 24th, Monday 25th, Briner 26th, 27th is Isbell Barker. Bad night for him, no luck for him. We saw that last season as well. Got caught up in other people's garbage. He's in 28th, Tate in 29th, and 30th is Levy Williams. He was discoed after that first caution. And then 31st is actually Healy. I thought he was in the field. Not sure why he's showing there. Showing 38 laps down, but out of sequence. Anyhow, that's going to be our broadcast for tonight. You got to see a bunch of action that we brought to you from Speed Zone TV. We'll be back in 2 weeks' time for race number 2 at Homestead on July 9th. Tune in at approximately 7:25 p.m. EST for some more great action as these drivers will be battling out in this 12 race, squint one eye, count them, 13, 12 race series. It's going to be a doozy. Season 6 we saw a lot of points changes throughout the season. We're going to see some more great action as it is to come. So make sure you're sharing out the broadcast, throw some likes on it, give it to your cousins, uncles, nephews, nieces, your great grandparents, your grandparents. I don't even care if it's your second cousin. We do what we like at Speed Zone TV. I'm your broadcaster / host, Robert Warrens, bringing you the action tonight. Shout out to Wagner's Welding for sponsoring the series, 760 Graphics for doing some great paints, and as well as Renegade Racing, who's joined on as a partner this year, and Refnuck Racing and Renegade working together. We'll be catching some more great action, like I said, July 9th, and shout out to a winner, first winner of the season, the 29 machine of Jimmy Pylon. Take care, everyone, and we'll be back again soon. Sunday night for Lightning Esports, race number 8 it is, I believe, or 9, doesn't matter, but you can tune in for some action in a different league. Anyhow, catch you soon. Take care.